Everyone wants more energy, but fewer side effects. More focus, but less effort. More productivity, but without actually doing stuff. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness, where self-care is on clearance, healing's not sold separately, and personal growth shouldn't require a subscription. What if I told you there's a pouch that you stick in your lip that claims to give you laser focus without the crash? Tonight, we're digging into the pouch-powered promise of focus on demand. It's sleek, it's small, it's scientifically unregulated. So naturally, we're obsessed. Let's jump into this. And if you're still running on coffee fumes and chaos, don't worry, you're in good company. Welcome to Wellness. Welcome back, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my students of wellness. Hope you all are ready for another fun-filled episode. We're here to have a good time. Sorry we missed you all yesterday. We have been we pride ourselves in being consistent. Unfortunately, life happens. Right? Sometimes baseball practices last a little bit longer, right? They tell you they end at 8. They rarely actually end at 8. My fault. Should have known I still wouldn't be home by 9 o'clock. But yeah. So no, we're here today. We almost didn't go live today, as I'm sure many of you are well aware of. We're dealing with some quite a bit of rain, across the way. I actually lost internet there about an hour and a half ago for about half an hour. I was like, well, I guess I'm not streaming tonight either. But luckily, it came back on pretty quick. So here we are. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoy the show. We are here today talking about a newer wellness trend. You may or may not have seen these. Nootropic energy pouches. There's many different brands. The one I have been trying, and I've been using these for a few months now. Fully loaded alpha fuel. Really good. We're going to talk about some of the ingredients in here. We're going to give a little bit of a product review today, as our Monday episodes, which we're doing on Tuesdays, usually kind of a wellness trend review. I think some Mondays or most Mondays, maybe we'll try to keep it to like one thing so we can kind of really get more of a deep dive into it rather than just a generalized, let's look at 3 different trends. I think we might kind of go with that vibe. We'll kind of play it by ear, see how we feel about it. But yeah, excited to have you all here. If you're returning to us, right? We've been streaming live a little over a month. We're still a relatively new channel, but we're hoping to continue to grow. If you're a first-time viewer, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, and whatever platform you choose to watch us on. You can find us live, typically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us live over on. You can find our channel over at on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness. You can find us over at Twitch at BBW_live. We have a Bargain Brand Wellness Facebook page you can find and join, where you can find any updates to anything that might be going on with our channel. No request required. Just feel free to join the group over there. And then you can also find us live on TikTok as well at my personal TikTok account, Off-Brand Tim. As I've shared before, we do also have a Bargain Brand Wellness TikTok page that we probably will eventually start using for the lives, but we'll see if we can start getting some of my followers on TikTok over to there. So if you happen to be checking us out on TikTok, hop over to our Bargain Brand Wellness TikTok page and give us a follow over there as well. I'd like to really start building up that follower list before we start going live over there. So, welcome to another fun-filled episode. I know, like I said, we're doing this on Tuesday, also a little bit later, but fortunately, life happens, right? You know, like I said before, we do pride ourselves on being consistent, and we will continue to try to do that. I see we have a couple people starting to jump on with us. Give us a hi, how are you? While you're on here, we're going to jump into our first segment here a little bit. as I mentioned before, we're talking about nootropic energy pouches. The ones I've been trying lately are the fully loaded alpha. We got a couple segments we're going to record about these things, and we're going to give a product review at the end of the show. Yeah, happy to have you all. While we're waiting for maybe a couple more people to pop in, your off-brand affirmation of the day: my energy is clean, my focus is sharp, and my decisions are legally questionable. Food for thought. Here's another one for you. I don't chase dreams. I chase stimulants that make the dreams chase me. Be a little scary. And the other one, I am not overwhelmed. I am over-caffeinated and emotionally buffering. Caffeine addiction is a very real thing. It's definitely better than most substances. Caffeine itself is not very harmful. It's not harmful at all. It's more the physical withdrawal your body goes through when you decrease caffeine. I'm sure some of you have probably dealt with caffeine headaches. They are the worst. I've had them a time or two, and they are not fun at all. We definitely require on that energy, and don't get me wrong, it's a nice boost, but I think we might be kind of overdoing it a little bit with caffeine sometimes. I think we kind of become too reliant on it. We are an addictive society. We like to have everything now. And I think we might get to a point where we're eventually developing a resistance to caffeine, which is why we need more and more of it. And that extra energy, they do say, is can be a little detrimental to your heart health as you get a little bit older. So we'll talk about that here shortly. But welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Love having you. I've seen a couple of viewers pop over on Facebook. If you don't mind, give us a chat over there. If nothing else, just give me a hi. We have been having a few issues with chats not popping up over there, and I think I figured out what the problem was. I was kind of having a pinned comment at the beginning of the stream, like kind of welcoming everyone, letting everyone know we'd be starting soon. And I think it was on Friday when I took it down. We saw that all the comments that I wasn't seeing popped up. So I'm not seeing anything right now. I've refreshed the chat a couple times. I'm not seeing anything over there. Like I said, I don't know how long we'll stay on Facebook live with this, because especially if it keeps having an issue. I hate for you all to get on here and try to interact with what we're doing, and I can't even see what you guys are saying. So we'll kind of play that by ear. But if you are watching this live, give us a shout out over there. Same thing on YouTube. We don't get much traffic over there on Twitch, and that's okay. Twitch is somewhat of a new thing for me. I'm not much of a Twitch watcher, but I figured, we'd kind of jump over there and see if we can get anything. And then there's always TikTok. Y'all can always jump on, join, and say hi. Quickfire wellness queries for the evening. More rhetorical, kind of just a little food for thought. Is it still mindfulness if you're multitasking during your meditation? That's a good one. Is it mindfulness if you're multitasking during your meditation? I would say I would lean towards no. Right? I'm going to lean towards no. Just because meditation is all about being in the present. I mean, I guess, well, here's another way to look at it. I mean, what am I multitasking at? Am I answering a text while also, I don't know. And no, I don't think, I was trying to think of a way to kind of maybe steel man it, maybe trying to create an argument. Ashley says no. Hey, listen, she's the DBT expert. I would take her advice on that. I think I'm going to agree with that. Yeah, I don't think it's mindfulness if you're multitasking. Right? Meditation's all about just focusing there and just erasing everything else. Another quickfire wellness query for you. Should your mental clarity come with a warning label and a QR code? I don't know. People might want to try to steal what you got. I might not want them to have that information. I want to keep my mental clarity to myself. I'll tell you what, for someone whose brain never shuts off, the rare times where I don't even want to say mental clarity, just mental stillness, and is able to just kind of really clear my mind, it's very euphoric. It doesn't happen often. I will say that. It does not happen often. Ashley says, how skills of mindfulness include one mindfully, which is not multitasking. Very true. Very true. And let's be honest, which is actually a topic we could bring up on a future episode. Multitasking, as much as people claim to be great multitaskers, you're actually probably not as good at it as you think you might be. You still, even if you're good at jumping back and forth between tasks, you're actually not capable of doing multiple tasks at the same time. Just your rate of exchange between the tasks can be very, very rapid if you're a good multitasker. Right? I remember seeing like a little news thing years ago where they had people who said they were great at texting and driving, only because they'd never been in a wreck, and then they had put them on like a little course and were driving while texting, and yeah, most people would have they were hitting cones, they would have hit a lot of they would have hit children. Yeah, they weren't quite as good as what they thought they were. And our last quickfire wellness query before we jump into our first segment. Is your health improving, or are you just too caffeinated to notice the decline? At times, I'm going to be honest with you, I think I can associate with that question. I'm definitely someone who enjoys caffeine. I don't, having ADHD, I don't know that the benefits I get from it are the same as what other people's. Caffeine actually kind of calms me and helps me focus. It's kind of weird the way that works, but I do rely pretty heavily. I like my morning coffee. I do like these things. I will say these things are not super strong. They felt stronger when I first started taking them, but yeah. I'd say most of mine is from coffee, and I do drink some soda. Occasionally, I do my zero sugar soda, as we've shared before. Actually says studies actually prove more productivity when you focus on one thing at a time. Oh, absolutely. Right. You ever been so overwhelmed by so many different tasks you feel like you're not actually getting anything accomplished? Oh yeah, that's terrible. That's a good point, Ashley. Can you cite your source for that one? Just joking. I've been in college for a little over a year, and that's all I ever cite your source. I've gotten pretty good at it, but it's frustrating. It's like, wait a minute, can I not offer something without citing where I found it from? Like I heard it one time and I agreed with it, right? Do I have to cite my source? Stephen Cage, I see you over there on TikTok. I never. Just out of curiosity, I don't know if you're able to chat with us. Were you the one who's over on Facebook? Because I saw one person over there who's not there anymore, and I have not seen any chats come through. So please let me know, because as I mentioned before, if I can't get Facebook, so you were sending me chats on Facebook, and we might have to abandon Facebook. Because I hate for y'all to jump on here and try to engage with what we're doing, and nothing comes through. I'm just refresh the chat again, and I'm not seeing anything. All right. Well, for any of our viewers, I don't know. Maybe we'll try it out one more time this week. We'll be live again tomorrow. We'll see what we can get with Facebook. But if Facebook Live is going to keep acting up, then we'll just do mostly YouTube, which is kind of where I wanted to push everyone towards anyway. We'll do YouTube. We'll still do TikTok, because I know some of you like doing that, especially when you're joining from your phone. And then we'll keep Twitch up, even though we're not getting any traffic over there. But all right, thank you. Thanks for that. Ashley says, my DBT training through Marsha Linehan, LOL, the DBT manual. Those are my sources. There you go. There you go. I never did get a chance to really sit down and read that entire DBT manual. I wouldn't mind doing that, as well as getting some DBT books. I've just been so busy. It's on my agenda. On my phone, I have a whole list of books that I want to buy. Just a matter of finding the time to read, because I want to see if there's like more to DBT that I still haven't really haven't learned. For anybody who doesn't know, DBT is dialectical behavior therapy, and I fell in love with it. Right, we've in my employer we've went through a lot of programs. I love DBT. I've used it in my personal life to help improve not just my overall relationships, but especially my relationships with the teenagers, with my teenagers. So definitely worth checking out. That kind of program, that kind of therapy, is really beneficial. All right. So let's go ahead and get into our first segment here. As I said, we're kind of talking about the wellness trend of today is these nootropic energy pouches, which are primarily caffeine, but they do have a few other things in them. So each segment will kind of just be a part of talking about that. In the very end of today's episode, we are going to be giving our first ever BBW scorecard grading of our product. Right? It may not always be a product that we're doing. I don't try everything I see, but I do try some of the stuff just to see kind of what benefits or if I notice any changes. But for the most part, the wellness trends, the benefits, we will be checking those out. So let's get ahead and get into this first segment. Let's talk about energy, because apparently we don't have any. Somewhere along the line, being tired became a character flaw. Not sleeping, that's discipline. Working through exhaustion, that's just you showing grit. Feeling like a zombie in a hoodie who forgot what joy is, congratulations, you're a high performer. And so we end up here with tiny, minty pouches stuffed into our upper lip like we're about to join a caffeine chewing tobacco league, all in the name of productivity. We're living in an area where rest is radical, where taking a nap requires emotional support. The motto of modern life isn't work smarter, it's work constantly, but pretend you're optimizing. We've glorified burnout to the point where it's become a personality type, and the wellness industry, well, it saw us coming from a mile away. Tired, twitchy, unable to go through a single commercial break without checking our phone. Enter nootropic caffeine pouches. Coffee, but more discreet. Energy drinks, but in a Zen-sized Ziploc for your gums. Now, this is bigger than just one trend. These pouches might be a symptom. They're part of this movement called functional wellness, where every product has to promise results. Sharper memory, faster reaction times, superhuman focus. It's not enough to feel okay. Now you have to feel optimized. But here's the trick. We're not enhancing humans. We're compensating for lifestyles that are unsustainable. No amount of L-theanine is going to fix the fact that your boss thinks flexible hours means emailing you at 10 p.m. It's like putting glitter on a flat tire. Sure, it's sparkly now, but you're still not getting anywhere. Or like buying a $12 brain boosting pouch because you're too tired to remember the last time you had a good night's sleep. We're treating symptoms of exhaustion with better branding and a bit of peppermint. But here's the part that gets me. These pouches are selling more than just energy. They're selling control, precision, focus on demand. They're not promising natural anymore. They're promising next level. Which makes you wonder, are we actually evolving, or are we just outsourcing our nervous systems to better packaging? Before we start judging what's in these pouches, we have to ask, what is it about modern life that makes us need them in the first place? So up next, we're cracking open the mystery box. What's actually inside these little productivity pods? Do they work? Or is this just the latest minty placebo wrapped in sciencey words? Let's take a closer look. Error mic drop. So once again, I don't want anybody to think that we're throwing hate on these. I do enjoy these, but I do think that they're not a perfect product. But like I said, we're going to kind of jump into that a little bit more as we're going through. Right. So if you're catching us live over here, I see a couple people popping in and out. TikTok, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share over there. Interact with us. We won't bite hard. Right. If you're joining us on YouTube, right, feel free to subscribe, like, share that. We're currently on Facebook Live, but if Facebook Live doesn't improve with the comments, we're going to be probably abandoning that soon. And then we are live over on Twitch. If you ever want to check us out over there, if Twitch is your thing, if Twitch is not something you're into, then do not feel like you need to go over there. Just something we're trying out, see if we can pull in some additional audience. Stephen Cage, thanks for liking the live over there on TikTok. What are these pouches called? This is the first I've ever heard of them. This brand is fully loaded alpha fuel. Does very well. I have seen a couple other brands. I have not tried them. These I happen to see on TikTok. Yes, I'm Tara, TikTok shop. Hey, we don't judge on this channel, right? At least we try not to. I did see these on TikTok shop, and then Joe Rogan, who I watch his podcast all the time. He gave a pretty good review for these stuff. But Joe's all about brain health. If you ever watched any of his stuff, so he's real big on cognitive health. That's a big key thing for me as well. So yeah, I kind of focus there as well. It's kind of the reason I take a lot of the different supplements I do. I take lion's mane in the morning. I take magnesium, vitamin D, Shilajit. Right, I take a lot of different things to improve mental, or cognition. So yeah, and they're not super expensive. So I will tell you, you can buy them on TikTok. I've bought them on Amazon. A 5-pack of these comes with, I think, 15 pouches. I think it was like $30. Now, there are some people who probably would go through these like 4 or 5 a day. I probably would only ever go through 1 or 2. When I was going to the gym first thing in the morning, I'd pop one in my mouth, give me a little bit of energy. And then sometimes I would put one in my mouth like in the afternoon around 4 o'clock. I wouldn't do it too late, just because that little boost might hurt you. When you Googled it, it says nicotine replacement. I don't know. I'm sure it could be. Speaking personally, when I was quitting smoking, every time I've tried, I have a problem with the oral fixation from smoking. That's the hardest part for me. I would try not chewing tobacco, but the Camel cigarette brand had these little pouches, but these had nicotine. They had tobacco in them. I would try those to help wean myself off of cigarettes. And these are a healthier version. So I can see these being a nicotine replacement. There's no nicotine. This is just caffeine. I can read you off some of the other ingredients. What did I see? The nootropic stuff. Alpha GPC, which is kind of their like special ingredient. I don't know what's fully in that. We're going to get into how this is not necessarily FDA regulated. L-tyrosine, taurine, guarana, which I've seen both those in energy drinks before. Theobromine, and then caffeine. Right. So yeah, I don't know if it's meant to be a nicotine replacement, but it definitely can be. A lot of guys, well, I'm gonna guess girls too, but mostly guys, especially with chewing, it's the oral fixation, just having that thing, especially for guys who chew snuff or chewing tobacco. It's just having that thing in their lip that it actually makes it a little bit easier to kind of get through. So if you're not too worried about caffeine in your life, don't feel like you need to get these. But if you are looking for like a little bit extra focus or a little boost at certain parts throughout your day, especially maybe right after lunch, give them a try. Watch our full episode, give our kind of full product review before you go out and buy them. But I'm one of those people, I can only tell you really my experience, and kind of give you the safety concerns if there's any. But Yeah, so far so good with these. Off-brand wellness hack for the day: chew mint gum and meditate at the same time. It's called aggressive mindfulness. Especially when you really chew that gum hard. You ever been in a really bad mood or just really anxious about something? You start chewing gum. Gum loses its flavor in a matter of 30 seconds. Another off-brand wellness hack: put a sticky note on your mirror that says "you tried," because sometimes that's enough. And also, the bar is on the floor. Set the bar low, not too low. Have our preferred beverages with us today. I'm drinking a lemon ginger herbal tea. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this one. It's good. It's not my chamomile sleepy time tea. I ran out of that, and I have a few of these left over, so I'm gonna try these. It's not bad, not bad at all. I'm really kind of digging herbal tea. I don't drink it every night, but it is a nice replacement. You know, when feel like I'm doing too much soda. Right, as I said, I do the zero sugar soda, but soda is still soda. Still not the greatest thing for you. And I love Coke Zero. Cherry Coke Zero is my drink. I love it. I love it. I won't lie to you. It's a good thing I quit drinking alcohol too, because that would go perfectly with some spiced rum as well. Have myself a good old fashioned Cuba Libre with that and a lime wedge. So good. Another off-brand wellness hack for you: do jumping jacks every time you get distracted. Either you'll gain focus or develop really nice calf muscles. Just saying. It could work. It could work. So we're over here having a grand old time. Hopefully y'all are liking the content, right? Usually, if this is your first time checking us out, we are usually live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our schedule got a little mixed up this week. We were going to be streaming last night. Scheduled it for 9 o'clock. Channing had baseball practice. He's on travel baseball. We were up at Westmar Middle School, and I should have known better. That was my fault. You know, they say practice ends at 8. Practice never ends when they tell you it's going to end. So that's my own fault. And then by the time I got home, it was already after 9, and I was like, we're already going to be starting late. So I just moved it to today. And then we almost didn't even get to stream today because of all this rain. My internet went out about 7:30. I thought they said it wasn't going to be on until back, around 11 o'clock, but it was back on within 30 minutes. So, hey, here we are. And we're giving a hi, how are you? Nice to have you here. So hopefully you're liking our content. You can check out our lives. We're going to be I haven't really done much as far as my little smaller clips. I haven't done much over the last couple weeks. I'm trying to find a good format for this. I have all intentions on taking our little segments and creating a little 10 to 15 minute video out of this for people to interact with. I'll be sharing that on our Bargain Brand Wellness YouTube channel. You can check that out there. I will also share the link to that on our Facebook group page at Bargain Brand Wellness. So yeah, you can check that out there if you want. When I do post it, check out the video, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. Yeah, those poor kids are still at Westmar Mallory's. It's crazy. We haven't had rain like this in a long time. At least not that I can remember. So yeah, hopefully all those kids can get home safe at some point. I heard that. Are they still there? I'd heard that they were. Yeah, I'm sure that's pretty scary for those kids, little kids, and teenagers as well. Paul Penrod, thanks for the like over there on TikTok. We're over here having a grand old time. Oh, I almost forgot to give a shout out. I told you all that we'd order a few new sets of glasses. Here's one of the ones that just came in today. I have a couple other pairs. We'll introduce them as well. But these ones are actually kind of cool. I actually kind of like these ones. They're not bad. The little spikes on them. I feel like a badass. Uh, would you rather BBW edition? Would you rather chew a nootropic pouch at a funeral or mistake your sleep gummies for pre-workout before a job interview? Ooh, that would be rough. Ugh, I don't know which one I would rather do. They're just now moving 15 at a time from Westmar to Mountain Ridge in the big police trucks, or that's what's posted on Facebook. Okay. I'd heard something about them moving them out on boats earlier. I don't know if that was true or not. I don't really. Been kind of trying to stay away from the news lately. There is times it is good to know what's going on. Ashley says the first one, you'd rather chew a nootropic pouch at a funeral, and depending on how you react to caffeine, all of a sudden you might start bouncing up and down in the middle of a funeral. It might not be the best place, but yeah, I don't know if I'd want to. Of course, let's be honest with the kind of second part of this question. Who takes pre-workout before a job interview? I don't know if I'd want to be that jittery. That might be a little scary. If you like that one, let's try this one. Would you rather give up caffeine forever or only be allowed to have it in a beverage that you can't stand? Right? So think of the one beverage that if someone offered it to you, you'd probably be like, nah, I'm good. But that's the only way to get some caffeine. So would you rather give up caffeine forever or only be able to have it in a beverage that you can't stand? Yo, Joey Twig. Sorry you were playing Fortnite. Hey, listen, nothing wrong with getting your game on. Give it up forever, easy. Actually, are you not a caffeine person? I mean, I've went without caffeine. There was a period of time when I was drinking decaf. Joey says give up caffeine forever. I'm on this train alone then. I don't know if I could give up caffeine forever. My taste buds acclimate quickly. I probably would go with a beverage that I can't stand. I don't know if I could. I like the little boost I sometimes get from caffeine. I don't know though. I used to drink caffeine-free Pepsi all the time, and I liked it. It was kind of weird because people said it tasted different. I didn't notice the difference. And I have done decaf, but I do like caffeine. I do like the boost that it gives me. I do like the focus. Probably be healthier for you too. What, to give it up forever? Well, we were talking about that before. A lot of people give a lot of hate on caffeine. Caffeine by itself is actually not unhealthy at all. There's nothing harmful in it. It's just the physical addiction it creates when you're going through withdrawals of it. Now, there is some that we'll talk about, how the increase in heart rate could be detrimental to your heart health as you get older, or if you have heart problems. I mean, so that's a downside, but I would hope people who have heart health issues isn't overdoing it with the caffeine. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I would have to go. I think I'm going to stand on this island alone, right? A lot of times people can change my mind. I'm going to stand on this island, about, I'd rather have a beverage I can't stand. Now, what would that beverage be? Oof. There's not a lot of things in life I don't like. A beverage that I can't stand. Ooh. Well, okay, this might change my answer because I don't drink anymore. Malibu. Coconut rum. Oh. Ugh. If that was the beverage I had to, I might have to go with you guys and say give up caffeine forever. Because, I remember when I was a teenager, right? I know, a bad teenager. Hanging out at a party one time. Someone gave me a bottle of coconut rum. They gave me some Malibus. Like, oh, here, you want it? I'm thinking, hey, free booze. Sure. No. No. To any of y'all who like Malibu, I don't even know if they still make it. That's all you. No, I can't. Ugh. Maybe it's something you're not really supposed to drink straight up. Maybe you're supposed to mix it with something. I guess you didn't see my comment earlier about caffeine. I don't know, Ashley. I didn't see anything specifically. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I didn't see that one. I don't drink coffee or tea, but I don't really notice the difference when I drink other versions of caffeine like sodas or V8 Energy. Okay. No, I actually didn't see that one till just now. Malibu is delicious. This is coming from someone who drinks mushroom drinks. I haven't had mushroom coffee in forever. Like I said, my taste buds do acclimate pretty well. Yeah, the mushroom coffee was an acquired taste. I will give you that. Now, let me ask you this, Malibu. Is it something, I mean, do you drink it straight, like as a shot, or do you mix it with something? Because I've had other drinks. It was like those little frozen slushy drinks that you buy and add stuff into. And I've had it like with like coconut or pineapple flavors in there. But yeah, coconut rum, no, that's detrimental. Can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, I do drink caffeine-free soda from time to time. It's just, it's not as popular, so it's hard to find. Every once in a while, I'll see at the market they still have caffeine-free Coke. I couldn't tell you last time I saw caffeine-free Pepsi. And like I said, I like cherry Coke, and they don't have that in caffeine-free. So that's kind of limits your choices, unfortunately. You say coffee or tea is probably the one you would choose to hate, that you hate actually. I know a lot of people who aren't coffee drinkers. And I get it. Coffee by itself is a very strong taste. And I've heard a lot of people say they like the smell of it, but it doesn't taste the way it smells. And you're pretty accurate. But I've been drinking coffee since I was 15, 16 years old. I love coffee, and I like a good coffee. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of picky. I'm a little particular on my coffees, which I'm not particular about most things. Yeah, but coffee, I like a good coffee. I like a good donut shop blend, a good Sumatra blend. Good. Mixed Malibu with pineapple juice. Okay, maybe I could. I would have to try it, but I don't drink anymore. So, orange Fanta, Sprite, root beer, all caffeine free. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm more of a regular soda, like primarily Coke, but I can drink Pepsi. That's kind of what I was more referencing. They don't necessarily have caffeine-free versions like all the different flavors. Same thing with Dr. Pepper. I don't think Dr. Pepper is caffeine-free. All right, we are getting ready to get into our second segment here, where we're going to kind of dive a little bit deeper into these nootropic energy pouches. Right, see what the hype is behind them. If you're liking the content here, feel free to share with your friends and family. Tell them about Bargain Brand Wellness, right? Our goal of growing over the summer. On Friday when we were streaming, we were talking about some goals of growth for the summer. And we were talking about realistic goals. Consistent streaming, I don't think is going to be hard to do, but what can we do to improve on our video views on our YouTube's videos we're posting. See if we can try to get more people here into the live. And the live streaming can be a little bit difficult because depending on the time of day, the time of year, what day you're streaming, might be really hard to bring people in. I mean, I know people watch live streaming all the time, but what is a good time for this type of content? So, yeah, we're trying to just figure out like what might be the best. And here's the thing. And the live streaming might just be something that we do just to bring you all on, those of you who really enjoy our content, just to interact with you and hopefully start to pull other people in here. Maybe a lot of our growth will just be from our people watching our videos kind of after the stream ends, which is, hey, that's totally fine. Whatever floats your boat. So, yeah. So let's get into this second part, and then we'll talk a little bit more. So let's get into it. These nootropic caffeine pouches, they sound high-tech. They look like something your nephew would sneak into class, and they promise the kind of laser focus usually reserved for hitmen in spy movies. But what are they really? Because the packaging says clean energy and neuro-enhanced. But I want to know if I'm actually buying brain fuel or just very expensive mouth gum. Most of these pouches have a combo of the usual suspects: Caffeine, anywhere from 30 to 100 milligrams per pouch. L-theanine for calm focus, supposedly to smooth the caffeine jitters. B vitamins like B6 and B12, because apparently those make everything sound legit. Ginseng, ginkgo biloba, or rhodiola, adaptogens that sound like herbal spells from The Witcher, and sometimes taurine, electrolytes, or even MCT oil. Because why not toss in some keto vibes while you're at it? But here's the kicker. None of this, and I mean none of this, is FDA regulated. So what you think you're getting may just be a blend of broken dreams and wishful thinking. The big marketing claim is that sublingual absorption, where you stick the item under your lip or to absorb through under your tongue, and all of a sudden faster effects directly into your bloodstream. Supposedly, this bypasses your digestive system and hits your bloodstream faster. Sounds cool. Sciencey. But here's what they don't tell you. Bioavailability can be higher, but it depends on how long you keep it in. Also, some ingredients aren't effectively absorbed sublingually anyway. And you're still just absorbing caffeine. Faster jitters aren't always better. At some point, we have to ask, is this really a breakthrough or just a marketing trick wearing a lab coat? Let's talk price. Some of these brands charge $30 to $40 for a 5-pack of 15 to 20 pouches. For that price, I could buy a large cold brew and still have enough left to tip the barista and question my life choices in public. So is it really about the ingredients or is it about identity? The I'm not like other coffee drinkers vibe. The I microdose ambition aesthetic. The wellness guru. You know what this reminds me of? Years ago, I heard of something called double brewed coffee. Basically, you brew a pot of coffee and then pour the coffee back into the reservoir and use it to brew another pot, new grounds, and all. After one cup, I was vibrating slightly, sweating through my shirt, and typing emails like a raccoon playing a keyboard. That's the energy these pouches are giving. Like, here's your clarity, plus a light touch of existential crisis and maybe some cinnamon or mint. We're out here biohacking our brains when maybe we just needed a breath of fresh air and a nap. So sure, they've got caffeine, some fancy herbs, and a sleek little pouch. But let's zoom out for a second. Is this just a better boost, or are we building a dependency on shortcuts? Next, we'll look at what this trend says about the future of wellness and whether we're optimizing or overcompensating. Air mic drop, y'all. So we kind of went over some of the ingredients, and I thought this had L-theanine. Let me look at this again, but I don't think it does. It's saying nootropic blend on these is alpha GPC 50 milligrams, which we're going to Google that here in a second because I feel like that's a special blend for them. L-tyrosine 50 milligrams, which I'd never heard of, and then taurine and guarana. I have heard of both of those. Those are common ingredients in energy drinks. And then theobromine or bromine. I've never heard of that one. And then caffeine, 50 milligrams. And 50 milligrams isn't super high. A standard cup of coffee is about 80 milligrams of caffeine. So it does have a nice little boost. It's more than I think a can of soda, but it's not super, super high. Let me, I'll tell you what, let's share my screen with y'all. What did I say? Alpha GPC. Can't type today. 50 milligrams. See if we can find it. Is that what it was? Alpha GPC. Alpha GPC ingredient. Let's see. It's a natural choline compound. I've heard of choline. Choline's good for energy and focus. The phospholipid, considered more bioavailable form of choline. Okay, so it's basically choline. Okay, and I've heard of choline. There's nothing wrong with that. What was the other one? Theobromine. An alkaloid, principal alkaloid of the cacao bean. All right, so it's closely related to chocolate. Okay, interesting. Huh. Hey, you learn something new every day. Are we trying to overextend ourselves and get instant gratification? Yeah. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Up to 500 likes over there on TikTok. Thanks for getting us up there, Joey and Steven. Glad y'all are there hanging out. Ashley, you're our lone viewer over there on YouTube, but I appreciate you being over there. Do you think it's trying to silence what our body is naturally telling us what we need? Oh, absolutely. I think it does. I think we do mask. And I don't think it's just this. I think it's a lot of the things that we do. We're masking a lot of the things that our body actually needs. And honestly, do you know what our body usually needs? Rest. Rest and sleep. And I'm not talking about just laying around and doom scrolling on your phone. Right? I'm talking about rest and relaxation. Nice, healthy diet. Not every day, not all day, but occasionally, get some fiber in there. Right? Get some of those micro and macronutrients get in. Eat a banana first thing in the morning, get a nice energy boost. Get some probiotics in your system. No, I absolutely think we're constantly masking what our body really needs. Which I think is kind of the reason why I try some of these things. It's not that I'm necessarily looking for just an overall fix. I want to see how much these actually work. And then it actually kind of puts me in a healthier place, because then I kind of get to the point where, because like this is my last can, and I'm gonna be honest, after I'm finished this can, I may not buy these again, because I don't know that I feel like I really need them. I haven't even opened this can yet. It's been sitting in my cupboard for over a week. So, and I think for me, that's kind of just proving to myself that, hey, while this is great, you don't need this. You don't need this. You got everything you need. So, it's a very good question. Weird wellness fact: slapping facials are a legit spa treatment to boost collagen. The claim is that slapping stimulates blood flow and muscle contraction, which increases collagen production, reduces wrinkles, tightens skin, and enhances skin absorption of products. Nothing says inner peace like getting pimp slapped by your esthetician. So if you're ever trying to kind of rejuvenate your face, just ask someone to slap the silly out of you. I don't know if I like that one, but hey, apparently it's a real thing. If you just notice, I do it all the time, especially when some of you are on here. We get talking, I forget to put the background music on. So as we mentioned, we'll give them a little shout out. YouTube channel known as the Relax the Movement, where we play our background music. Almost as weird as vampire blood facials. Oh yeah, the blood facials. Yeah, I've heard of those. I thought that these were a joke. I saw like on TikTok, like where girls were putting, it was red paint on their boyfriends' faces, and doing a video of it. Of course, they don't know what it is, and then they say period blood, and the guy, it's actually not, it's just paint, and the guy starts freaking out like, did you just put period blood on my face? And I mean, these dudes are freaking out. They're hilarious. I've seen a couple of them. Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about something else? I might have just made it really weird. No, they're real. What I'm talking about or what you're talking about? Or are we talking about the same thing? If we're talking about the same thing, I did not know that was real. Not period blood, though. It's real blood. Okay. I feel a little bit... I mean, blood's blood, but... Okay, blood facial. Okay. I could see it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's something I'd try. Someone else's blood? I'd be a little scared. If you like that one, here's another one for you. Bee sting therapy is actually a thing. Apitherapy believes that bee venom contains compounds like melatonin, adolapin, and apamin for reducing inflammation, boosted immune response, relief of chronic pain, and helping with autoimmune conditions like MS or arthritis. I'll be honest, if I wanted that kind of pain, I would do the nose waxing trend every couple of weeks. But he said, "Hey, Tammy's in the house." Listen, today's Tuesday. I don't know why. I feel like I'm off. You know what? I'm off today because we didn't get to stream yesterday. I'm off today. It feels like it's Wednesday. I'm like, it's not Wednesday. We started late for a reason. Yeah, we did. We started late for a reason. Today, the reason we started late is Reagan was supposed to have a softball game that didn't start until 6. And those games, it's, her first year in fast pitch, she's 10U league. Those games last 2 hours easily. I didn't want to be rushing home by 8:30, so that's why we scheduled it for 9. Yeah. And then 9 o'clock yesterday was the purpose because Channing had a baseball practice. So we'll be back to 8:30 tomorrow night. Period blood isn't actually blood, by the way. It's tissues. What? It's tissue shedding. What? What do you mean? It's not blood. I thought it was blood. I'm gonna gross all the guys out. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. The thought of it is kind of. But no, I did not know tissue shedding. I mean, I heard it was like a cleansing. I don't know if that's really a topic I want to dive into on this channel, but it's a natural process. It's a part of life, right? You already have your material ready for tomorrow. Yeah, I actually just finished writing it earlier today because I had not had a chance to. So kind of Reagan's game getting canceled. This rain kind of worked out at least in some way. Tissue shedding. I did not know that. Hey, you know what? That's why we do this. As I said before, I hope to learn just as much from these as you all do. And I learned something new. I appreciate it. Real reflection riddles. Any water in my house? Yeah, we got water. Real reflection riddles. Are you tired or are you just doing things that drain your soul a little more every day? Be honest. When was the last time you felt energized by your own life? If you said last vacation, we might need to take a personal inventory if it was over a year ago. Oh. Sorry, I didn't understand the question from the rain. Sorry, Joe. It's been a long day. No, we had a little bit earlier, just because my own fault. I had forgot to clean out my gutters. So we had a little bit downstairs in our basement, but not too much. It took me about 5 minutes to clean up. Listen, I'm allowed to have blonde moments too, right? It's uterine lining. I've heard that term before. I just didn't know what it meant. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think any of us were even really paying attention to the real reflection riddle. I don't even remember what I read between me having a blonde moment and talking about period blood. I'm kind of lost my train of thought for a minute. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, let's get ready to jump into our third topic, where we kind of bring this all together and we give our Bargain Brand Wellness scorecard review of our nootropic energy pouch. Let's get into this. All right. So we've covered what's in these nootropic caffeine pouches. And yeah, some of it might help. But the real question isn't, do they work? It's, why do we feel like we need them in the first place? Because at some point, you have to wonder, are we chasing better performance? Or are we just trying to keep up with a world that refuses to slow down? We live in a time where everything's about convenience. Food comes in bars, therapy comes in apps, relationships come in swipes, and now focus comes in a pouch. But the problem with shortcuts is they can slowly replace the real thing. I'm not saying caffeine pouches are evil. They're not out here summoning demons, but they do represent something a little deeper. This belief that if we just find the right thing, the right hack, the right supplement, we won't have to change our lifestyle. We can stay overstretched, under-rested, and overstimulated as long as we have the right pouch tucked into our gums like a secret weapon. Here's the thing. We've been sold the idea that we should always be optimized. Sharpen your mind. Maximize your morning. Level up your focus. But that language, it treats you like a machine. And you're not. You're a person. You're a person who needs rest. You need sleep. You need joy that doesn't always come in mint flavor. What happens when better becomes the bare minimum? When you're no longer drinking coffee for pleasure, but jamming pouches in your face just to feel normal. This isn't about caffeine. It's about clarity. The real kind. The kind you get from unplugging, not overclocking. From reflection, not reaction. From balance, not biohack. These pouches won't ruin your life, but if they become a daily crutch, ask yourself, are you supporting your focus or avoiding the reason it's so hard to focus in the first place? Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you put in your mouth, it's about what you allow in your mind. And sometimes the most powerful nootropic you can take is a damn break. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into nootropic caffeine pouches. Here at Bargain Brand Wellness, we're giving nootropic pouches a solid C+. For effectiveness, we're giving it a 6 out of 10. Many users report that these pouches provide a noticeable energy boost without the jitters commonly associated with traditional energy drinks. For instance, customers have praised products like NZE's pouches for their sustained energy and focus enhancing effects. However, some users have noted minimal cognitive improvement, suggesting that while the caffeine content is effective, the added nootropics may not deliver significant benefits for everyone. As far as cost factor, we're giving it a 4 out of 10. The price point for these pouches can be relatively high. For example, a 5-pack of the NZE's 50 milligram caffeine pouches is priced at $34.99. Considering that each pouch contains 50 milligrams of caffeine, users seeking high doses may find the cost adds up quickly compared to other caffeine sources like coffee or energy drinks. Under vibe factor, we're giving it a 7 out of 10. These pouches are discreet and convenient, allowing users to get a caffeine boost without the need for beverages. Their sleek design and ease of use make them appealing, especially for those on the go. However, the act of placing a pouch in the mouth might not be everyone's cup of tea, and some may find it reminiscent of nicotine pouch usage, which could be a deterrent. Under potential for overuse or abuse, we're giving it an 8 out of 10. Given their convenience and the moderate caffeine content per pouch, there is a risk of overconsumption. Exceeding the recommended daily caffeine intake can lead to side effects such as jitters, increased heart rate, and potentially anxiety. Users should be cautious and monitor their total caffeine intake from all sources. And then lastly, under BBW's off-brand points, we're giving it a 10 out of 10. The concept of nootropic caffeine pouches is both innovative and slightly absurd, fitting perfectly into the BBW realm. The idea of achieving peak productivity by placing a flavored pouch in your mouth is both amusing and addictive of our culture's obsession with efficiency. So whether you love them, leave them, or just like the idea of popping something under your lip and feeling like a caffeinated cowboy, the big question is still the same. Are we boosting our brains or just buffering reality? If our content interests you, continue to check out our content on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness, where we're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, remember, self-care shouldn't require a monthly subscription. Mic drop. Got our inactivity notice on TikTok. You're not convinced to buy any. And like I said, actually, if you're not much of a caffeine person and you feel like you don't need a little pick-me-up, yeah, I don't think these are going to do a whole lot for you. And you kind of, I think you're already in kind of the right mindset with your question about how these are silencing or masking things. If you're starting to feel a little like you need a little pick-me-up at certain times throughout the day, ask yourself, what have I done lately? Right? Have I been active? Have I moved around? What have I been putting in my body? How was my sleep? Right? Just answering those few questions can kind of identify, well, no wonder I feel like crap. I ate like crap today and I didn't sleep very well last night. All right. Joe, you said bias. What? You're saying I'm biased? Is that what you're saying? I resemble that. Right? Now, I'm aware of my own bias with these. I do like them. I like to taste them. And when I put them in, I usually try to leave them in for at least half an hour to an hour. They say you should always leave them in for at least 20 minutes. I gave them a 10 out of 10 on the off-brand point, just because it is kind of a neat little idea that's discreet. But overall, we got a C+ overall, which I thought was a little low. I thought I was going to end up giving it a B, but yeah, when I added up all my scores, it was a C. So up to 1,400 likes over there on our TikTok live. Thanks for getting us there. Appreciate that. We're over here live on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Although I think Facebook, as we've kind of been talking over the last couple of weeks, I think Facebook, we might be kind of leaving that train as far as live goes. If it's not going to work, we're just going to rely mostly on TikTok and YouTube. We'll still keep the Twitch up, even though no one's really going over there, but maybe we can start pulling in. It'll actually be a lot easier for the chats to kind of come together a little bit, maybe. Yeah, we'll play it by ear. You want to hear what I give an A to? Well, you'll just have to tune in. There are some things I give a pretty strong A to. Yeah. I try to be mindful. Here's my thing is, product reviews that I'm going to do, it'll be something that I've been using. It'll be something I've been using for a while, so I feel like I can give it a good, objective score. Instead of Twitch, you could do Kick. Joey, you did mention Kick. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I don't think I want to do Twitch and Kick, so I'll be honest, whatever's going to pull in other viewers, it'll kind of help us grow. I've never been on Kick before, but I know you've mentioned that before. So yeah, we can check it out. We'll check it out. If it's mushroom drinks, I'm done. The mushroom coffee. We could do that one. I don't know if I'll be honest, I'd have to do my scoring with that. I don't know if it would end up being an A. Simply because it was time consuming to make. It stained the inside of your cups, and I had to drink it over ice. I like hot coffee. I like hot tea. That stuff didn't taste good hot. I had to have it over ice, and I had to add a little bit of a healthy creamer to it to kind of give it a different flavor. So yeah, I don't know if I would give that one an A, but I did like it. Joey says, you could probably go live on Grindr. I'm not 100% sure, though. What's Grindr? I never heard of that one. Can't be an A. Yeah, I don't think the mushroom drink would be an A. I don't think. Let's put it this way. If it was an A, I'd still be drinking it. Wild self-care practices. Eye gazing with a stranger for 60 minutes. Claims, right, to create emotional intimacy, healing trauma, or accidentally falling in love with a man named Skylar. The BBW take, if I wanted that level of vulnerability, I would have just shared a timeline of all my school photos with everyone. He's telling on himself. Yeah, I think Joey might be over here telling on himself. Joey says on Grindr. Joey says, check it out. If it asks what's your interest, just say BBC. I don't know what that means. British Broadcasting Company? Joseph, that's inappropriate. This is a family channel. That's content for Friday. Remember, Friday's after dark. We're going to have to throw you over to Twitch. You're going to get yourself kicked off of TikTok again. Getting ahead of yourself. Yep, just a little bit. Did you ever see that one clip? I can't remember. It was Jimmy Kimmel when he was doing his show, and I can't remember who his guest on. And the person asked a question. You're learning way too much about him. Jimmy Kimmel asked a question, and it had to do with Grindr. And Jimmy Kimmel goes, "Oh, that's Grindr," and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know." And played off real quick like he didn't know what it was. You'd have to watch the clip. It's very funny, just his reaction. I think it was definitely a real reaction, though, which made it even funny. Another wild self-care practice, cupping therapy with fire. A literal firing glass cups that are then suctioned onto your back to help improve circulation. Our take on that, nothing says relax like temporary bruises and the smell of regret. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos of that. That one looks it's basically like putting a bunch of hickeys all over your body with a little glass cup. I don't know if it works or not, but it looks kind of painful to me. This one sounds pretty good. Never would have guessed he's on Grindr. Joey actually says, never would have guessed he's on Grindr looking for BBC. Hey. Hey, people like the British. They're nice people. I love their accents. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. I like their accents. I used to be here I'm gonna be a little vulnerable with you guys and share a little bit more about myself. You might lose a little bit of respect for me. I used to be a huge fan of the Spice Girls. Big fan of the Spice Girls. I was 15 when they first kind of came out, and like every 15-year-old boy, I had my crush. Mine was Ginger Spice. I don't know if I've shared that with you guys before. I feel like we may. Ginger Spice was my girl. Cupping actually intrigues me, though. You would try. Yeah, I mean, and I agree. I'm one of those. I'd probably try. I'd probably try anything like that. I was telling someone the other day, I've never actually had a massage. I need to pay and go get one. I would try some of those weird things myself. The ones that really interest me are those ones where you go to the chiropractor and you hear the bones crunch a little bit. I always worried I'd get be a little painful. Actually, Joey says you on Grindr, you check him out. He's at Big Deck DECK Joe. Ask for the happy ending. Ask for the happy ending. Is that something they do over in Britain? Happy endings. Ashley says she was a Spice Girls fan. Let me guess. I'm gonna take a guess. Massages are your favorite thing in the world. I've never had one. I gotta try it. I'm gonna take a guess. Your favorite Spice Girl. See, I don't really know you that well. I'm gonna say Baby Spice. Baby Spice was your favorite. Tell me if I'm wrong. What about you, Joey? Who was your favorite Spice Girl? You might be too young. Ginger Spice was my girl. I was really upset when she left. The only one you know is Mel B. Hey, she was good looking too. She's pretty. It'd be nice if the two of you were in the same chat together. Because Ashley says you're over here overcompensating with a big deck, huh? Ashley, yours is Baby Spice or Ginger Spice. Yeah, Ginger Spice was my girl. And she was kind of considered the nominated leader just because she was the oldest. I know more about the Spice Girls than I should. Not everybody knows that Ginger Spice and Mel B were romantically involved as well, which is what some believe may have led up to Jerry leaving the Spice Girls. Joey says undercompensating, actually. Whoa. Mel B, only because she was on The Voice or one of them shows. Yeah, I think it was The Voice. No, it wasn't The Voice. It was wasn't in it America's Got Talent. She was on that one. The one who never really got credit all that much was that Mel C. She was never really. It's not that she was ugly. She was still pretty. She just was never really considered as pretty as the other girl. But she had the voice, right? If you go back and listen to some Spice Girl songs, and I won't lie, I have a little play track I've been listening to for the last few months. If you go back, she ends up doing a lot of some of the main vocals in many of the songs. Her and Mel B seem to be the primary ones. Emma would do some, Jerry would do some. Victoria was the one who you didn't really hear from as much. But yeah, Mel C, Sporty Spice, she was one of the main vocalists. She could hit that real high note, and she had just a different sound to her voice. It was really popular. Really made some of those songs. Up there's Joey over here. You talking smack about my deck. That's too funny. All right, let's get ready to record this off-brand thought for the day, and we'll get ready to wrap this thing up. The brain isn't a battery. Stop trying to stay charged. You ever notice how we talk about our brains like they're iPhones? I'm at 5%. I just need a quick charge. Got to boost my mental energy. As if we're going to plug into a wall socket and suddenly be emotionally available again. But here's the thing. Your brain isn't a battery. It doesn't just charge because you drank a $7 mushroom elixir and did a breath work app for 6 minutes. It's not a device. It's not a machine. It's a living, pulsing, emotional lump of goo wrapped in trauma and memes. And you're trying to treat it like a portable speaker. We keep acting like if we just find the right hack, the right stack, the right gum pouch of destiny, we'll finally feel energized enough to do everything. But sometimes the real problem isn't low energy. It's too many tabs open, too many should, too many voices in your head, yelling, optimize, when maybe you just need quiet. And honestly, if your brain says nap, maybe it's not malfunctioning. Maybe it's doing the one smart thing left in your body. So stop trying to stay charged. Sometimes you're supposed to shut down. Not forever, just long enough to remember you're a human being, not a productivity update. Now go recharge the old-fashioned way. Close your eyes and let your worries just whisk away. And that's our off-brand thought of the day. Bet Joe was listening to 98 Degrees instead. 98 Degrees, I was never a big fan of the boy bands, but 98 Degrees did do that one song with Stevie Wonder for the Mulan soundtrack. I can't remember. Oh shoot, what the heck was the name of that song? Good to Your Heart? Something like that. That song I really did like, but mostly because it was Stevie Wonder. He liked Nick Lachey, that's all. You remember the show that when him and Jessica Simpson got married, they did, I think they only did like one season because they ended up getting divorced. That show was hilarious. Some of the dumb stuff that Jessica Simpson would say on that show, and he would just look at her. One of my favorites was still, she was eating tuna fish, chicken of the sea, and was confused. She wasn't 100% sure if it was chicken or if it was tuna or what was in the bowl. It's so funny. Nickelback. I don't like Nickelback, Joe. I'm sorry, buddy. I do not like Nickelback. I can't do it. Backstreet Boys. Listen, my brother was into the Backstreet Boys. I never really listened to him, but I would be lying if I did not say, or if I said that some of their songs weren't a little catchy. It's not something I have on a playlist. You'll probably never catch me listening to it, but if I heard a song, I'm not going to turn the channel. I'm going to listen to him, pop my head like, you know what? This got a good vibe to it. Definition of a dumb blonde. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jessica Simpson was the poster child for a dumb blonde. All right. Well, it is 10:15. It is past my bedtime. If you're enjoying the content, we'll be live again tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? We're going to have a fun-filled episode. We're not doing a wellness review or a product review tomorrow. We'll be just jumping into more of our, kind of wellness, philosophical thoughts. So stop on by. Give us a shout out, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow or subscribe. Check us out. Thanks for all the likes over there on TikTok, up to almost 1,500. All right, we didn't quite hit it, but that's okay. I see the likes coming through on YouTube as well. I think we're gonna give it one more shot. We will pull up the Facebook Live tomorrow, but if I'm not getting any views over there and I can't see any people's chats, then tomorrow will probably be the last live stream we do on Facebook. We'll still keep the Bargain Brand Wellness Facebook group up so that people can, find out where our stuff is over there, but we'll probably move. So we'll give it one more shot tomorrow, but then we're going to move on. All right. So let's go ahead and close this out with our signature closing. You got me, Joey. I appreciate that. Thanks for getting us over 1,500 likes. All right, let's give us our signature closing and get out of here. And I hope you all have a good rest of the night. And that's going to do it for tonight's episode of Bargain Brand Wellness, where wellness comes with a warning label and a sense of humor. Whether you're fueled by caffeine, clarity, or just petty determination, remember, You don't need to run at 100% to be worthy. You're allowed to unplug, you're allowed to rest, and you're definitely allowed to throw away a gum pouch that promises enlightenment. Until next time, stay hydrated, stay human, and make it worth your wellness. Yeah, actually, I'll still be doing the events. It won't be a Facebook live stream. It'll just be tied to the YouTube. All right. So see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Thank you for the support. Have a good night.